I'll start with what happened in Assam. Yesterday, the Assam government demolished another madrasa, this time in Bongaigaon district. It is the third madrasa in the state that was demolished by the government. The police are clearly saying that they have found links between these institutions and Al-Qaeda, the dreaded terror outfit. If these are being demolished for their links with terrorist organizations, then what is the problem, sir?
What right does the Assam government has to demolish a madrasa? If they have violated the municipal laws, give them notice. That is the basic demand of principles of natural justice. Hear them out. Give them some time. You become the judge and jury and you demolish a madrasa just because of one person arrested. Yes, we condemn any person who has links with any terrorist organization.
No. So the question is that the Assam police are saying that it was not just one individual. They believe, and of course this has to be proven or disproven in a court of law, but they believe they have evidence to show that the institution itself was being used for terrorist activities. Now you use the example, since you made it personal, I'm asking you, if an institution is being used, then should that institution be allowed to continue?
Listen to me. Even if the institution is involved, let us assume,
okay,
is alleged to be involved. You cannot say is involved. Alleged to be involved. That
okay.
is the right word. If alleged to be involved, you protect that as evidence. You don't demolish it. Tomorrow when the case will come up in the court, I will tell as a prosecution, this is the proof. This is how they used to use it. You demolish the whole evidence. Why do you do that? Because you don't have evidence, or you want to protect the evidence?
Okay, now let me come to the other state, the state of Uttar Pradesh, which is also planning to bring in a new law to regulate madrasas across the state. The deadline was supposed to be today. They've extended it to September 10th. Now, many are asking, what is wrong if there is a law to regulate madrasas, if madrasas have to be registered with a government authority, if companies have to be registered, partnerships have to be registered, trusts have to be registered, schools have to be registered, then why should madrasas not be registered?
Well, you see, for companies, you have company law. For trust, you have a trust law. Madrasas are protected under Article 30 of our Indian Constitution, which is a fundamental right. Even the Right to Education Act is not applied on madrasas or minority private schools which don't get any aid from the state or central government. My objection is very clear. This is a targeted survey against one particular community who happen to be Muslims. Why shouldn't such a survey be done for Vidya Mandirs, for Saraswati Shishu Mandir? Why shouldn't such a survey be done for private schools in Lucknow? Why shouldn't a survey be done for all the government schools in Uttar Pradesh, especially girls' schools? How many toilets are there? How many drinking water facilities there? How many electricity connections are there? Why should a survey be done to find out that in Uttar Pradesh basic education 75,000 teachers vacancies are there? In secondary education 32,000 vacancies are there. That is why I have said that this is nothing but a small NRC is being done against those madrasas, Zaka, which get no aid. And last point, you talk about survey. There are madrasas which are registered under Uttar Pradesh Education Madrasa Board, which the government pays the salaries.
Yes.
In 5 years, the Yogi government has paid only 5 months' salary. You only paid 5 months' salary.
No, but Mr. Owaisi,
you can't discharge your responsibilities over there.
Isn't it a legitimate question to ask that if some of these madrasas are asking for funds from state, even if it is a small amount, and even if they are not, the basic premise is even minority educational institutions which are protected under Article 30 are registered with the state. Convent schools are registered with the state. Other minority educational institutions are registered with the state. So why shouldn't madrasas be registered with the state? What is the problem?
Well, you see, if you run a school, you get a certificate from the government stating it's a minority education school.
Yes.
That is not the case with a madrasa. That is not the case with a madrasa because you don't accept the degrees which a madrasa is given. If I get a 10th class certificate from a school, it is recognized and affiliated to the state board. Here in madrasa, if a Maulana is getting a Alim Fazil degree, that is not recognized by the state government. That is why you have no right to intervene in those madrasas. Please understand, this is simple.
But isn't that exactly what the Yogi government is saying, that it's time to regulate these madrasas, it's time to bring them into the mainstream, it's time to monitor what curriculum is being taught to these children? The more they are brought to the mainstream, the better it is for those young Muslim children who are studying in these madrasas.
You and the government wrongly assume that the people who study in madrasas are backward, and that is the biggest cause of backwardness of Muslims. No. The biggest cause of Muslim backwardness is the intellectual dishonesty and communalism of BJP and various other secular parties. What I teach in my madrasa, which is not getting any aid from the government, for example, Darul Deoband, Nadwatul Ulema, Darul Ashrafiyya in Mubarakpur, what right have you got to go and check? What I teach is to make them scholars of Islam. Why do you want to? And these madrasas are running openly. They're not being taught under some tunnel or somewhere else. You have no right to intervene. You have a right to intervene in those madrasas which are registered under the UP Madrasa Board. Of that, you have not paid salaries to the teachers from last 5 years. For God's sake, pay those salaries.
Saab, you will be the first one to admit.
Listen to me.
Give me 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. You will be the first one to admit that the reason why the rate of enrollment of Muslim children in recognized schools, formal schools, government schools or non-government schools, why that is lower than the rest of the community's average is because there is reluctance to send them to those schools. So to that extent, if these madrasas are formalized, if they are brought under the ambit of some regulatory approval, so isn't that good for the community? Isn't that good for education of the kids in this community?
I would request you to please read the Kundu Committee report, which was given to Madam Najma Heptullah, the then Minister of Minority Education. I would request you to please read page 134 of Kundu Committee report.
Sir, what did the Sachar Committee report say?
Completely unconnected.
No. What did the Sachar Committee report say?
Sir, you don't know. Sir, listen to me, sir. The Kundu Committee report is the latest report on Muslims' social, educational backwardness. Sachar is very old. I am talking about the Professor Kundu Committee report. If you don't believe me, call once Professor Kundu to your program and say that this member of parliament who's infamous for making hate speeches has said this. You'll get the right answer.